Hi, I'm Kelly from Wyoming Plant Company. Hey, super exciting today. I'm with Diane Berg at her incredibly beautiful home, the landscape she's prepared in her backyard after a decade of work. Diane, can you real quick kind of just give us a rundown
hmm
on your yard, your landscape? What got you here? What did it look like when you purchased the home, and
hmm
what was your inspiration?
Yeah, sounds good. Moved here in 2011. It was a brand new build, so backyard was not done at all. There was a small little green, chunk of square lawn in the front, and that was it. So it was a big undertaking. The yard is about 0.83 acres, and I grew up in a place where there was good dirt
Right.
and rain, and so this whole area was a little bit new for me. And somehow, I don't even remember how I found out about the store. It was just a really good fit for me when I went there, and I, met the previous owner, and then obviously I've met you since then and developed relationships with both of you. And I didn't really know when I first came here what was going to work. And so I took advantage of the yard call, right? And a walk through and what works good here, and took all of those recommendations and then started buying and planting. And so of course it was years in the making. It takes a while for you to just do all the work. It takes quite a bit of time, but um, it's just been a really good experience. It's my part of my therapy, being out here playing in the dirt. So it's been really enjoyable for me.
I'm excited
hmm
to show off the reward
Yeah.
that you've earned
hmm
to some of the folks around Casper who may be going through the same
Yeah.
trials.
Not everything has been successful. There's been some losses along the way.
So, inspiration wise, you grew up in Canada,
Mhm.
and the feeling was I just wanted to bring some of home with me. And
Yeah, trees are a big thing for me. I really like the trees, and rustling, like that sound of the rustling leaves, that I've just always enjoyed that. And I had some spaces like that back home. And then because I grew up in a flat place, the whole mountain range was kind of an inspiration. I wanted to have, something that was native to here. And so the trees, there's a lot of trees in this yard. And that's probably most of where my first inspiration came from, was trying to reflect a little bit of maybe what was on the mountain down here. And then the next inspiration was, how can I cover some of the white fence? I've got a lot of white fence, and you almost needed shades because it was so bright. And so that's where a lot of the vines came in, and things like that.
in one spot, soften the fence with hops.
Yes, also, yes, I do. Yes. Big chunk of green.
Big chunk. It is a chunk of green.
Fun.
You've got a cool technique. Can you describe it for what you did to get the hops to climb the fence?
Oh yeah, I found online this. It's almost like a trellis kit, and it kind of used like a plastic cement or something along that line, with little hooks and wire, and basically you just create a grid. And the cool part about that is you can do whatever shape you're interested in. I just wanted the fence covered, so I just basically did one great big rectangle, right? The whole fence panel and covered. But the nice part about that is you could really make it, customize it however
Do what you want.
for whatever your space. Yep.
How about challenges? Every gardener has challenges.
Yeah.
Casper's loaded with them.
Yep.
What do you got here?
I think everybody complains about the wind. I lost a tree this year because of the wind. One of my more established trees, which was a little bit sad, but I know I'm not the only one, and that's just, part of life here. I think probably also watering. Obviously I spend a lot of money on watering to make sure everything gets what it needs for moisture, because we just don't have the moisture that I was used to,
Right.
where I grew up. So I think that's probably the biggest challenge for me.
What would you say is maybe your most proudest accomplishment?
I think I don't know that I can even say one. I think probably just having everything, the majority of things make it. Because
Yeah.
it is such a variable climate here. We had hardly any snow this year, and I wasn't really sure, was everything going to kind of make it out, because I did do some watering over the winter, but it's not like I was out there as much as I probably should have been.
For sure.
Life's busy.
Yep.
So, and most of the time you don't think you're going to water in January.
I think that ties back to your point about if you do the prep work, if you do proper installation, if you give the plant its best start, they're able to battle through the tough times. And I think your yard is a tribute to that. It really is.
Thank you.
Well, should we go wander and look at a couple plants?
Sounds great.
Awesome. Kinsley's Ghost has a pretty neat history. It was originally kind of endorsed and presented to the market by Plant Select. It was a Plant Select plant for a number of years. Because of the Plant Select endorsement, it is one of the lower water plants that you might find on the market.
And this corner of my yard takes the most wind.
You're seeing no wind burn, no damage.
No,
Right.
rarely get any.
This is the most special element of the yard, and I got to tell you, it's unbelievable.
It's my favorite. I told you it was the weird thing I saw down at the store with the circle leaves, and it just caught my attention. And I thought it was just such a really cool plant.
Anything special you do to take care of it?
No, I clean it out, the dead stuff out every year, and that's it. Water it, fertilize it every once in a while, but it's another thing that just loves that space. It grows and does its own thing.
We're on the west side of your property. We're standing underneath a Royal Frost birch, and we're trying to highlight the Dropmore Scarlet honeysuckle behind us.
One of my faves.
I know, and you have every right to be proud of it for all the flowers that are on.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's again, so we probably got another 50, 60 feet of honeysuckle.
Again, I was trying to hide the fence.
And you've done it very well. You're right. I mean, from a distance, you can see just how punchy the orange and the scarlet and the yellow is, and some deep purples in there even.
Yeah.
The blends are unbelievable. The foliage is gorgeous.
Nice contrast with the birch.
Nice contrast with the birch, especially with the white bark on the Royal Frost. Some juniper on the ground to give you a very naturalized ground cover.
And to keep the roots in the soil
a little bit cooler.
Cooler for the for the honeysuckles.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It really, really is.
Thanks.
Okay, Diane. One of the things that I find, I know you're incredibly proud of your backyard, but one of the things I find attractive about your home landscape is your front yard. Tannenbaum, mugo pine, aspen, Royal Frost birch, Taylor sunburst pine, plums, peaches, apples, lilac, white fir. The list goes on.
I tried to take one of everything.
You did. You really did. Any foundational inspiration, or just that was it?
In the front yard, I wanted some trees that I could use as Christmas lighting, like some big Christmas trees. Like that was definitely a want for me. So I definitely have a couple of those. Primarily, I don't put lights on my house because I don't like heights, but I can decorate my tree, and that makes me happy. So that was a big focal point for the front part of the yard for sure. And then also I needed things that were big to take up space because I have such a big yard. I was trying to create a lot of greenery in here, kind of a sheltered space with all of the lilacs. And I also wanted to try some fruit trees and see, whether or not they were successful. So that was kind of the fun side of things.
And then the roses, you want to talk about the roses in the front?
Yeah, there's some fun roses in there. One of my favorites is the
Morning Sunrise?
Morning Sunrise, that's what it is. Yes. So it's been a really hardy rose plant for me. I've actually planted that particular plant everywhere I've lived. And it's done well regardless of where I've planted it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And you said there was some meaning to some of the roses?
Yes. So that particular rose bush, my first daughter passed away when she was a baby. And some very good friends gave me the Morning Sunrise rose bush as kind of a memory.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the reasons why I've planted it everywhere I've gone, is that it's kind of, there's been a piece of her everywhere we go.
I gotcha. We're coming to the end, Diane. Yeah. I got to tell you, I'm incredibly grateful. I've sort of pestered you. You finally gave in. But your landscape, in my opinion, deserves to be shared. And for the folks watching, I think it offers some inspiration and some hope and and some belief that cool things can be done by someone that just cares,
Yeah.
and some persistence and dedication and
Mhm.
really just attentiveness to the plants that you install.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks.